Hey everyone, welcome to a Let Me Know How It Is Extra. I'm Zach Slater.
I'm Frank Malman.
This is Tommy Smithereens.
And I'm Clifton.
This episode, we give our first impressions of the first trailer of Amazon's animated adaptation of the comic Invincible, created by Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame and artist Cory Walker. Published by Image Comics, this trailer was released as part of New York Comic Con. So, what'd you guys think?
I love it. I'm very excited for it.
About time.
Yes.
Arguably his best work.
Without a doubt. Yes, I would say so too. And you can direct all your hate mail towards myself and Tommy.
Indeed.
But no, I think I think honestly of the two major opuses of Invincible and Walking Dead, I think Invincible is the better book.
They're coming for you. They're coming for both of you.
Let them
That's
come.
fine. Let them come. They'll thank us later. Hate us now,
Yes.
thank us later.
Yes. Yeah, no, it's if you're not familiar with Invincible, Invincible's a story of Mark Grayson, who is basically the son of Omni-Man, and he's waiting to turn 16 and he's waiting to get his powers, right, Tommy?
Indeed.
When you first pick up with him. So that's what you see basically in the teaser trailer there we saw from New York Comic Con was basically I think
it's like the first page of the book, it looks like.
Right. Basically, yeah, because that's what he's trying, he's waiting on that moment. It's almost a metaphor for like, I want to grow up, and then finally he gets his powers, and it's from that point on, well, what do I do with it?
Yeah, it's waiting for your driver's license, waiting, all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, no, I think it looks really cool. I've been wanting them to animate Invincible for a while. There's been rumors for this has had a couple of false starts a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was picked up and in development at MTV 10 years ago at least.
Yeah, didn't they do like the motion comics first and then at one point for Invincible, I thought?
Yeah, they did have some motion comics. I remember
okay.
I don't know how long ago that was. 10 years ago?
I thought it was right around the time of the MTV stuff, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a great idea. It's a great book from what I've read. I've read 4 or 5 trades of this. I can't remember how much. It's been a while.
I've read about the same.
Yeah, it's Kirkman's take on like modern take on the traditional superhero.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, yeah.
There's a lot of like cool superhero tropes in it from what I've seen, but you're going to get a take on it. You're going to get a little spin sometimes.
Yes.
To me, the whole take felt like a nice amalgamation of what works in DC and Marvel, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It felt like when reading the book, he took the best of both worlds, and that's what we got in Invincible.
I mean, to me, like, it's funny you say that, Tommy, because it makes me think of more along the lines of what if Superboy grew up in the Marvel Universe?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's exactly it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much, because there's a lot of Kirkman is, and this is no offense to Eric Larson, he does a lot of stuff like Eric Larson did with Savage Dragon,
mm-hmm.
where it's kind of the thing where, it's big concept, but at the same time, it's big concept that's kind of an homage to like the Kirby Marvel stuff or Kirby Monster stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Kirkman does the same sort of thing where it's a good modern take on the teenage superhero.
It's interesting that you say it's what if Superboy grew up in the Marvel Universe, because to me it's the opposite. To me it's like what if Spider-Man grew up in the DC.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, same.
A little bit because his dad being a superhero has a legacy aspect that when I read it, that was something DC was doing a lot better than Marvel at the time. But Mark feels very much a Spider-Man archetype to me.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked about, when we did our teenage superhero episode that you can check out on letmeknowitis.com and other places, that, he's one of those characters that's like, he's like Peter Parker, like Spider-Man, or Virgil Hawkins, Static, or Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel. I think as teenage superheroes of their own go, I think it's, it's definitely a high watermark for the teenage superhero. I got in, I think, Invincible around issue, I don't know, 4 or 5. I think I might have read the first trade, or I think at that point, Image was doing a lot of, they would take the first couple issues and reprint them together, so you could get like 1 and 2 in one swoop. So I think I got the first couple together like that, and then picked up with like 6 or 7. So, but I read it all. I loved it. I thought it was a great series. I'm looking forward to it. I think the voice cast is really strong for it. I think Stephen Young is a great choice for Mark,
Yeah, he's good.
as well as J.K. Simmons as Nolan, his dad. Omni-Man is really good too. But they got a really good cast. Sandra Oh is playing his mom, Deborah.
Yeah, it's a big cast.
My good friend Jillian Jacobs. It's Adam Eve. We're not really friends. I only met her once. Mark Hamill is Art.
Who's Monster Girl?
They said who they say. Oh, it's Kevin Michael Richardson, which is actually awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Okay.
Kevin Michael Richardson is a great voice actor. He's terrific.
Yeah. You've heard him in 1,000 things. If you're a cartoon lover, he's everywhere.
Yes. Yep. He's in one of my favorites though is what was that night show? The Nights of that he was on with Donald, was it Logue? Donald Logue? Who was he on it with? You know what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I do remember because we were watching that for a little while. I couldn't tell you the name of that show. There's a gun to my head. But it was the premise is they're trying to rip off Mick Jagger's apartment.
Yes,
trying to rob Mick Jagger's apartment. Yeah,
yeah, and that's where you see what's her name from Modern Family. That's her first, one of her first series before she got Modern Family.
Yeah,
but
I think Steven Yeun is an awesome lead, and he's not new to voice acting. He was Avatar Wong in Legend of Korra, which is a series high point of that series, which is a very good series anyway. But I think that's a standout episode and performance for me. But he's also he's Keith in Voltron Legendary Defender, so he has a hero's voice.
Yes,
which is cool.
But
Knights of Prosperity is the show you were talking about.
Oh, that's it. Thank you.
Okay,
2007.
Yeah, because at one point it's Kevin Michael Richardson and Donald Logue, and then like I said, goodness, Gloria from Modern Family was that like one of her first shows. I think I could be wrong, but I thought it was her. But the rest of the cast is Zazie Beetz as Amber Bennett, Carrie Payton as Black Samson, Walton Goggins as Cecil Stedman, which is a great choice. And this is even a better choice. Zachary Quinto as Robot is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, he's good too. Zachary Quinto. I just heard him in Superman Man of Tomorrow. He plays Lex, and he's very good too. Yeah, he's very solid. Yeah. What do you guys think of the visuals of this though? So how does the book translate to what we've seen, at least in the trailer? How does it look to you?
I mean, it looks like I think they struck a pretty good balance between the Cory Walker beginning of the book and then when Ryan Ottley takes over. Because to me, in parts, it looks very Ryan Ottley-ish, which is not a bad thing at all. I like Ryan Ottley's artwork. Yeah. But I also think that Cory Walker is the one that started the book with Kirkman. So
yeah, he's the credited co-creator of Invincible with Kirkman, and this book has been around almost 20 years now.
Yeah,
it started in 2002, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So it's definitely been gestating a while.
Yeah, it's one of those, like I said, with Walking Dead. I mean, Kirkman, shot through the stratosphere with Walking Dead, and people are like, oh yeah, he also does Invincible and other stuff. But to me, it's one of those where I as much as I don't need that in everything, the fact that you can tell from the trailer, wouldn't you say, Tommy, they're not going to shy away from the violence of it?
Oh, you get that one scene with the guy squeezing the guy's head, his eyeballs popping out. Yeah, they're definitely leading into the violence. You can tell from the brief glimpses of it. In fact, I know exactly the scene that it's occurring in the book.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because that's one of the things about the book in particular is the fact that it doesn't. I mean, it's not one of those. When they're depicting superpowered folk fighting, it's not. They don't shy away or pull away from stuff.
Yeah,
stuff
no
is
kids, no kids gloves. No kids gloves.
It's visceral stuff. So it's one of those things where I'm kind of. Glad and impressed that they're sticking with it. I mean, to me, it's because it's from Seth Rogen and somebody else, right?
Yeah, so they're going to lean in heavy into the violence.
Evan, was it Evan Goldberg? Is that the name of his producing partner? Yeah.
So they've done this, and they're doing The Boys too, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
They did The Boys. They did Preacher.
Yeah.
They've done Black Monday. What else? There's a slew of shows that they've produced together, in which you can see the violence or the jokes shine bright. It's almost like you can tell without even knowing that they're a part of the staff. You can know which one is theirs just based upon the material that they showing you. So,
well, I mean, what I was going to say was I think this and I have not seen any of season 2 yet of The Boys, but it's one of those things where I think this and what I saw of season 1, I think they kind of learned from Preacher that you don't want to stray too far from the material. because we talked about a little bit before we started the episode, before we recorded this, about the idea that they're not at least what we've seen in the little teaser we got was it looks like it's all stuff from the first trade, which is good.
Yeah.
You need to establish, and that's the other thing about Invincible is the fact that it plays well with the rest of the Image quote unquote universe, but it is its own thing and it expands upon. There's a lot of stuff that Mark goes to and goes through while being Invincible. So I'm very excited.
I think visually, to me, it has a resemblance of sorts to Legend of Korra, just slightly, a little bit. Not saying it's the details on the show are actually a little hush hush. I can't find who's show running this. I can't find who's working on it as far as designers or or background guys or anything like that. Background painters. So the production of it itself is kind of a mystery to me. But aspects of the trailer I think are gorgeous. I think the backgrounds of the city in places and I think that stuff is beautiful looking. I think it's really, really cool.
Right.
Going back to what Frank was saying, to me, I found it interesting to see what they're going to do with this particular property. Only because, for example, with Preacher, they don't come close enough to make me like it or enjoy what they're developing. And then in another case, when they do the same thing with The Boys, it's applauded because they make choices that are different from the book as well, but it's done right.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that out of all the properties, especially comic book ones that they take on, that this is the one they're going to hold steadfast to. I'm thinking they're going to deviate, but in what forms and what shape? Like what you were saying earlier, Frank. I don't think we probably won't get the other any image character outside their universe that might appear in there.
We might. I mean, we might. I would be really surprised if we don't get his Kirkman's Wolfman character at some point, and I'd be really surprised if we don't get Britt at some point because they're Kirkman. So I mean, I wouldn't imagine it's all going to be part.
Easy to strike a deal.
Yeah, exactly. You can, that can be worked out to get all those characters in, and everything else is either an archetype, because there's a lot of we didn't get through all the voice stuff, but there's a lot of archetypal characters to round out kind of like a Justice League for Omni-Man. That's all.
Oh, big time.
You'll find out if you don't know already.
I mean, the fact that Image is all creator owned, it may be more difficult or more easy to get, option for characters to show up or permission for other characters to show up. I don't quite know. I mean, I guess it depends if it's the rights are tied up elsewhere,
right?
Already, But I mean, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, they're clearly comic book fans. They seem to be getting a lot of properties. Anybody hear about the next thing that they're doing also really quick?
No, I've not heard. What's that?
They're getting Ninja Turtles.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, they're doing Ninja Turtles as a teen movie. They said is that they wanted to kind of invoke that a little bit. So
super bad Ninja Turtles.
There we go. I'm in. I'll watch it. But
if we're lucky, we might get Good Boys.
Right. But no, I think this looks cool. I think Invincible is really, really neat. I'm excited that it's happening. It's nice that it's happening in a spot like Amazon that's gonna, I think give it some life and it'll get a chance to find an audience, I think.
Yep.
So no details on release date yet. It just says vaguely 2021. So, stay tuned, check on that. So tell us what you guys think in the comments. Please remember to like us and follow us on social media. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for listening, everyone. Until next time.